What's up, gamers and collectors? DGC back with another video, and today we're taking a look at all of the exclusive Mech games on the original Xbox. 8 of them to be exact, 2 additional honorable mentions. Let's check it out. First up, we have a really cool game here. This is BATTALION Aquila, or Aquila? I'm not honestly sure. I'm pretty sure it's Aquila. Let's check out some gameplay of this one.
Enemy contact! Hostile landers are deploying tanks! Going to red alert. Hawk, see what you can do to help our forces, but keep Aquila in one piece at all costs. Don't let those enemy forces get into our base. We're dispatching a squad of saviors to help you. Stay behind our tanks and let them do the bulk of the work. We're not ready for combat just yet, so...
Incoming missile.
Excellent work. I think we're done for now. Bring Aquila back here. We've got some diagnostics as well.
There are still enemy forces to the east of the firebase. Good work. Most of the transports made it to the base.
How'd I do?
Alright, so that's BATTALION Aquila. This has mech combat in it. It's not solely a mech game. Most of these are solely mech games. This has mech combat in it. It's kind of a multitude of genres in one. However, I wanted to start out with this one. This one actually pleasantly surprised me the first time I popped it in and played it. This is an absolute gem of a game on the original Xbox, and you can only play it on the original Xbox. Alright, next up we have a really good one here. This is Gun Griffin for the original Xbox. that's Gun Griffin Allied Strike for the original Xbox. It still looks pretty good to this day. During its heyday, I would not have minded playing this on Xbox Live. Man, I bet you there was probably some fun Xbox Live gameplay of this. Maybe I'll be able to find some of that online someday and watch that and reminisce. But man, this is a really solid title, still really fun to play to this day. Definitely pick this one up for sure. Alright, so as I said at the beginning of the video, all the Mech games on this console are phenomenal, but I was pleasantly surprised with some of them when I looked at the case and I was like, is that actually going to be a good game? And it is, just like the first one. This is Gunmetal, from Mech to Jet and back. Really cool game here. So you can kind of, again, you can transform and stuff, and you can turn into a jet and a mech. And they're pretty, for the console era that this came out in, the levels are fairly vast and decently sized. And it's a really fun time. Let's check out some gameplay.
The Allied forces. Work with the Allies to defeat the enemy force. We're beginning to get the upper hand. Remains intact. The weapons plant has been marked with a cross on your radar. Shooting! You've almost done it!
So really a pretty good game, and again, all these Mech games can be found so cheap, it's not even funny. There is one that we'll get to later in the game that is not cheap, but you already probably know what that is. Spoilers on that one. But yeah, really good game here. You can pretty much find this at any game store, and I guarantee it'll be under $15. Definitely worth the price. Alright, next up here, this is a top 10 OG Xbox game for me. More than likely, you probably already have this, and if you don't, this needs to be the absolute first game you get for your original Xbox when you start out your original Xbox collecting journey. That being the legendary, the greatest, truly most enjoyable game for the original Xbox to just sink your teeth into, to experience the overwhelming library that the original Xbox has, and that being Mech Assault 1. What a phenomenal game this was. I still remember clear as day when I got my Xbox Live set and it came with my additional copy of Mech Assault, which I ended up actually giving to cousin Nico, who's been in many of the videos. So he actually still has technically my second original copy of Mech Assault, this being my actual first original copy that I got, because the Xbox Live accessory kit, and I'll put a picture here, came with Mech Assault in its own little case. And I just remember having a blast playing this game. So much fun. The story's good to it. The single player is just truly great, and it's a lot longer than you would think it would be. It's a pretty meaty campaign. The multiplayer is still really fun. I'd love to do like a system link with this one day with like a bunch of people. That would be fucking dope. Truly a great franchise, and I really wish Microsoft would have given us Mech Assault 3 on the 360. I yearned for that game back in the day. I really wanted Microsoft to do it. And every year I look forward and hope and pray that Microsoft brings back Mech Assault. And every year Phil Spencer lets me down.
So our little team gets to make a covert landing outside the range of the existing guns, sneak across half a continent, and take them out before our dropships show up. Just you, me, briefing boy here, a handful of pilots, and some of your favorite toys. You up for this?
Don't waste your ammo. Pretend that those poor bloody infantry are bugs and step on them.
From this base. Expect heavier resistance. Sir, I'm reading a battle mech. Light. Looks like an Owens.
Careful, sport. This won't be like fighting tanks and infantry.
Alright guys, so next up, Mech Assault was followed closely at the tail end of its library by truly one of the greatest games on the original Xbox, and that being Mech Assault 2 Lone Wolf. If you're a follower of the channel, subscribe if you're not. You know that I love lenticulate covers and holographic covers, and all of these are holographic, and I love that because it's just cool to look at. But yeah, Mech Assault 2 ramped up everything to 12. If Mech Assault 1 was a 10 out of 10, they ramped it up to a 12 out of 12 with Mech Assault 2. Everything about it is so good. Now, unfortunately, it has a lot of good licensed music. If you're about my age, let's say 28 to like 40, you're going to love all the music, licensed music that's in this game. It's Korn, POD, System of the Down, all that stuff. It's all fantastic. It really fits with the genre, the vibe of the game and everything. And it's just truly just a blast to play. Now, the campaign on Mech Assault 1 is really good. And this is a direct sequel to it. Same cast of characters in your little starship and everything. But like I said, they just really ramped it up with the music, the audio of the actual mechs, the sound effect of the guns. Then they added in, I forget what the little mech is called. So they added in, and obviously you'll see this in some gameplay here in a sec, but they added in the little mech. I forget what it's called. I really don't remember off the top of my head what they call it. I beat this for the first time a few years back, and I had such a blast. The final boss in this game was one of the better boss fights I've ever played in my life. It's truly a memorable boss fight. And I'm not even going to spoil it because you really should pick this game up and play through the campaign because it's a meaty, again, much like the original one, this one's even longer. It's a really meaty campaign. I think they probably knew that they weren't making Mech Assault 3. Like, they started making it, but I think they probably knew the writing was on the wall, that it was never going to exist. And I think they put their heart and soul into this game, and it really shows. This is truly like a game that is just, you can tell the developer really made something that it was their passion project, and they really loved this game. Let's jump into some gameplay.
No choice. We're using the battle armor. It's up to you now.
You're gonna need to take out those tunnels to stop those enemies. Now that you forced the pilot to eject, the mech is yours for the taking. Sir, the ships are inside the harbor. Go out and sink them. Careful, looks like they have some sort of escort.
Alright guys, so that's Mech Assault 2. Now, as a big OG Xbox collector, I have roughly about 400 of the, with essentially half the library of the original Xbox, aka all of the exclusives, and then back behind all these 360 games is all just the third-party stuff that I want. Obviously, it plays best on the Xbox. Now, with that being said, as long as I've been collecting, I've never seen a non-limited edition of this. So I'm pretty sure they only released the limited edition, and then there is no standard edition. I've never seen it. I don't think it exists. Someone correct me in the comments down below if it does, but I'm pretty confident that it doesn't. So all of them are the limited edition. And then they come with, this is my original copy, still from back in the day. They come with an additional DVD, which is this guy or this guy? Doesn't matter. And it has a lot of really cool, like a making of content, and it's truly worth watching. And it's kind of cool if you have the Xbox remote, the DVD remote, watch it on your Xbox, and it just adds another layer of immersion to get this version, watch the DVD first, you know, play the first game, then get this one, then watch the DVD, and then play the second game, and you're going to be in OG Xbox heaven playing these two games. They're truly some of the best games on the original Xbox. They are must-own games, and both of them can be had for like $10, $15 or less. And they'll never be more than that because they made millions of copies of them. And they're some of the greatest games for the original Xbox, truly. If you can't tell, I really love Mech Assault 1 and 2 and really want Phil Spencer. Come on, Daddy. Give us Mech Assault 3 finally. The story was probably already written. All you got to do is make the graphics. All right, next up, this is a pretty well-known title. However, it's from a very different studio that does sometimes make some mech games from time to time. They recently revisited Armored Core recently, that being From Software. And this is Murakumo Renegade Mech Pursuit. So this is more of like a flying mech game. It's very unique. It's very interesting. Beautiful, beautiful looking game on the original Xbox. Let's check out some gameplay.
Save route via 3D images. Pursue the 3D images.
Gary, be careful! You'll be taken off the mission if you get too far away from the target.
Absolutely killer looking game, killer soundtrack. Definitely recommend picking this one up. This one's a little bit on the upside of the pricey side just because of that From Software logo on the back. It is worth picking up. It's going to take you some time to get used to the controls and playing it, but once you finally figure it out and you lock in, you're going to have a blast with this game. It's truly a must-own title for the original Xbox. Alright, next up. This is a cool one here. This is Phantom Crash for the original Xbox. Not a lot of people talk about this one, so let's check out some gameplay. So that's Phantom Crash. Absolutely cool little hidden gem, if I do say so myself. No one really ever talks about this one. It's kind of just a really not talked about game. And it's not terrible. It's pretty good. Controls are good. Graphics are pretty good. Story seems pretty good. I'm actually going to probably try to play this in 2025 and beat it and really enjoy it. So I'll be sure to report back in the future on that. So be sure to stick around for that. Alright, so next up we have the legendary, the behemoth, the coolest thing, the holiest of holy grails in my collection. something I'm truly proud to say, and I have proof of it, that I paid $250 for it sealed and unboxed it in the video, which I'm going to link right here. So be sure to check that out because it's one of my best done videos, and it was actually one of my original videos on the channel. It's like 8 years old, and it is the only unboxing of Steel Battalion Online. I'm the only idiot online who would open up Steel Battalion sealed, but I didn't give a shit. I've wanted Steel Battalion since I was like 13 years old, and I remember just frothing at the mouth, yearning to own Steel Battalion and play with those joysticks, and I finally have it. And you know what? I really don't play it that often. And next year, in 2025, I'm going to for sure beat that game. Now, something that you're probably not aware of, but I do often in the videos, and nobody's ever actually called me out on it, I leave little hints around in the videos in the background. And no one ever really catches on, no, at least not yet, but maybe now you will. So in the background here, I have a nice sealed copy of the expansion pass for Steel Battalion, that being Steel Battalion Lines of Conflict. This actually has such a layer of dust on it that I can draw on it. It's just been chilling on my shelf with my other sealed Xbox original games. So this was in the unboxing video, which I aforementioned listed right here. So be sure to check that out because it's a really highly done video. And I'm pretty proud of it. So this was the expansion pass. It's just like more levels and that kind of stuff. There's really no point in me opening this. And in hindsight, I really kind of regret opening this because I could have easily just bought this at the time for like $3 when I opened this. And I could have kept this sealed and then just had an open copy. But you know what? That's that fresh copy. And it will always stay mint because I take care of my stuff. In that video, I also get the strategy guide for the game. So I have a mint copy of the strategy guide, and my set is still mint condition. I've only ever played it, and I'm a little ashamed to admit this, I've only played it once the original time. One time I streamed it. Another time when I moved out of my parents' house for the first time, which was 8 years ago, which is wild to think about. And then another time, a couple years back, I unboxed it again and replayed it. The problem with Steel Battalion is, and if you own it in the box, you know this, there's just so many layers of shit, and then you have to, the Allen keys and doing all this different stuff and putting it together, and then when you have to put it back. One day when I finally have my own home and I can just store it somewhere, it will get its own dedicated shelf where it just sits on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? That would be sweet. Now, next up, we have two honorable mentions. These are not exclusive to the original Xbox. However, they're going to play the best in the original Xbox, so that's where you're going to want to get them anyway. Let's check it out. All right, so first up, this one actually has a bonus DVD in it that you're going to want to try to find just because it gives you that little extra sauce on your game, right? And that being Robotech Battle Cry. This is a beautiful looking game. Let's check out some gameplay. So, as I mentioned before, this actually comes with a DVD. It is episode 1 of Macross, the anime, which is essentially the same thing as Robotech Battle Cry, or same franchise, that kind of thing. I don't know a ton about the game, or the franchise for that matter at all, of Macross. However, with the DVD, I'm now kind of interested. I plan on watching the DVD on my Xbox and then playing the game fully. There's a lot of games I got to catch up on this year. But yeah, absolutely stunning looking game. You can get this on all 3 of the systems, PS2, GameCube, and the Xbox. But again, the Xbox is going to look the best. And it's probably going to be your cheapest version anyway. So you may as well get the superior version and save a couple shekels. Alright, the last game here is going to be Robotech Invasion for the original Xbox. I want to put a little footnote here that this is Mech Light. It's not a full-on Mech game like the last one. However, it is still a Mech game and in the vein of a Mech game. So I wanted to mention it here at the end of the video. Really cool game. Let's check out some gameplay.
Gentlemen, we just got word. The Invid are attacking Farthing. Get over there and help those people.
Hey you, Locke! Your waypoint indicator should be pointing toward Farthing. Head there right away.
The Invid have Silas pinned down on the other side of town. Get over there and give him some cover.
Alright guys, so that's Robotech Invasion, the final game on our list here. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Hit the bell notification if you'd like to get more interesting original Xbox content, and in the future, more Xbox 360 exclusive content, because that's what's happening in 2025. Let's do it. Peace out for now, guys. Till next time.
Come here, you mother...